Tips for travelling with MS. I'm Wendy. I've had MS for 5 years now and I love to travel. I've done a lot of international and national travel as well. If I'm not on a plane or a train, I'm on Google Earth. So I'm here to give you some tips and ideas of what I do to make it easier for myself as well. Because travelling with MS isn't always easy, is it? First off, packing, making sure that you take enough medication with you and that it's in your hand luggage as well. What I tend to do, if I take one of these, my Dosette box, if I'm going for longer than a few days, I'll decant the medication into that, but I'll also take my prescription with me as well, just to be on the safe side. I sometimes get sensory overload, so I like to take my earphones with me. You know, when you're in an airport or a noisy train or something like that, I find it a bit of a comfort to take those. The noise cancelling, so I can either listen to my tunes, or if you're on the flight, you can put the aeroplane earbuds in and then put the headphones over the top. It cancels out a lot of the commotion. It's a bit of an easier way of doing it for me. Traveling comfortably, if even it's a short haul flight, I'll wear loose clothing because sometimes, if you're wearing something too tight or itchy, it can irritate things, can't it? And that in itself can exacerbate your MS symptoms. So just travel as comfortable as you can. When I'm on a long haul flight, I'll take this with me. It's looking old and battered now, but that's my inflatable cushion. It's got different cells in it, so you can inflate it to different sizes. And I tend to put it on my knee and lean forwards on it. The alternative is to put your feet on it on a bulkhead seat. I'll cover that in a minute. I also take my thick, comfy socks, or if you've got these kind of like disposable slippers, they're great for on the flight, especially if you need to go to the toilet. You don't really want to be going in your socks, do you? So they're really good for that. Booking seats. I'm not physically able, so I'm not allowed to book an emergency exit row seat, which does have the extra leg room. But on the short haul flights, I go for the seats at the front. I fly a lot with Ryanair, so rows 2, D, E, F at the front have got extra leg room as well. Other than that, if you're flying long haul, you want to be booking a bulkhead seat, which is sometimes where the cots are for the babies. I put some pictures up here so you can see what I'm talking about. And then when you've got that extra leg room as well, you can use that cushion I was telling you about earlier to put your feet up on. It's far more relaxing and it gives you a lot more space as well. Plus, you're going to be nearer to the toilets. You can take your walking sticks on the plane with you. They can go in the overhead locker. I take crutches which don't tend to fold down. So sometimes they might put that in a different place on the plane for you, which can be a little bit of a pain. So I take my foldy up walking stick as well. Wheelchair assistance. There's different levels, so you can get help that will take you through the airport to the gate, or you can get help up the steps as well. There's different levels. You'll need to do that when you book your flight. I'll put some images there and show you how I do it. It takes you through step by step. Just let them know what your needs are. The one piece of advice I will give you is, even when you're on a good day, always book the wheelchair assistance, even if you're feeling great. When you get to the airport, you can just go to the assistance desk if you're feeling great and just say that you don't need it that day, but you don't know how you're going to feel. And honestly, I've gone on a flight feeling fabulous and then I've come off feeling pretty rotten, and then it's not there at the other end. The help isn't there. And when you're going through a great big queue at passport control, I've regretted it a couple of times, so always book it. If you're taking your own wheelchair, just make sure it's labelled that you're going to need it when you disembark the aircraft, because before now they've just put mine on the carousel. So sometimes if you put a label on it, it'll be there ready for you at the aircraft door just before you leave. And lastly, I just wanted to show you, if you need a higher level of assistance, this is the aisle chair that they also use for you. I know there's been a lot in that. There's tons more I could speak about as well, but for now, I bet you'll be glad. That's it. Bye.